advanced literacy training. Part 1 is going to be on implementing the Reader's Workshop. Okay, so to get us started for our little icebreaker, I have a quote that is referenced by Lucy Calkins in a lot of her books and a lot of other books written by the Teachers College. It says, "It is important to realize that the most creative environments in our society are the ever-changing ones. The artist studio, the researcher, the scholar's library are each really kept simple so as to support the complexity of the work in progress. Deliberately kept predictable so the unpredictable can happen." What I'm going to ask you to do is take a moment to think about that quote. And I want you to turn and talk to your partner and talk about what that means to you. What does it mean about keeping the creative environment very simple and the unpredictable happening? What does it look like in your class? Okay, so I heard you guys saying about how the students need to be familiar with their book and be in the same place in their library, and maybe the structure of your lesson is always going to be the same and not change. Your teaching might be different, and those things are important, especially in the workshop structure that we're familiar with. We've already implemented Reader's Workshop, and this will be the year that we're actually rolling out the Reader's Workshop. So why is there a need for a change in our district's literacy framework? Basically, what was wrong with what we were doing before we implemented this balanced literacy approach?
Instruction wasn't leveled to fit the students' needs. It's kind of whole group based on the teachers would tell the basal.
The whole reader and the whole idea of nothing was individualized. It was a lot of group instruction without that differentiated instruction that was needed. So we have two quotes from Debbie Miller's text that you may be familiar with, Reading with Meaning, which is a great source. The overall purpose of literacy instruction is to provide students with a differentiated instructional program which will support the reading and writing skill development of each individual. And then the Reading Workshop skills are directly targeted students during interactive read aloud. To reads the selection, she's periodically to model the internal a good reader uses to help comprehend the work. So it's the whole metacognitive process that we're actually going through in the Reader's Workshop. Okay, so our district is shifting. We're moving toward the balanced literacy framework. We touched upon that. We have a percentage of students reading below grade level that are in need of urgent literacy kind of approach to change the style of instruction we're using. So we have a lot of the that are basic skills. We have the students that are falling through the cracks, and there's a need for us to change our style of reading instruction. So how does the Reader's Workshop help you differentiate instruction? Okay, to take it back to the things that are behind us, we have the traditional, which is almost like the older style of theology and thinking behind teaching, where we thought learning to read and write began at 6.5 years old, and reading develops first and then writing, or experience of children before schooling are considered irrelevant. Okay, we're shifting now to the constructivist and the emergent literacy approach, where the importance of early childhood education and literacy development in the early ages is really important, where we encourage parents to read to their children when they're little, and how we notice the connection reading and writing and how they develop together. So that's the theory that is behind this. So the fact that it's research-based, and constructivism, where this actually originates from, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it focuses on learning as a social advancement, involves language, real-world situations, and interaction and collaboration among learners. So this is the kind of theory behind it. Okay, and this is just a visual for you that just highlights some of the elements of the balanced literacy program. Okay, so we have that has been restructured and reprinted this year that everyone will be getting a copy of in September, our new balanced lit framework, which you guys are familiar with, being on the Language Arts Committee. So we have our interactive read-alouds, our shared reading, our guided reading, reader's workshop, independent reading, our word study program. And this part of our training in balance is going to focus particularly on reader's workshop. Okay, so the Principal Independent Readers Workshop with a Balanced Literacy Framework. This is according to Kathy Collins, which is another one of our source texts. And basically this is what she says that is essential. Readers have time to read books independently every day. Readers select their appropriate books, take care of books, respect each other's time. They have daily opportunities to talk about their books in genuine ways, and they don't just read the words, they also understand the story. Readers' work in the independent reading workshops is replicable outside the classroom, so they're able to apply the strategies they're learning at home reading and reading independently. So what are your beliefs about teaching and learning? So every teacher has their own, theories that they believe in or philosophies when teaching reading. So Kathy Collins, author of Growing Readers, focuses on the ongoing pursuit of knowledge, the importance of safety and consistency, the importance of providing opportunities for independence, the power of a print-rich, talk-rich, invite classroom, and the value of clear and high expectations. So most teachers, I would say, would agree with that. Somewhere in your teaching philosophy, you're going to see these elements, especially the value of clear and high expectations and the print-rich classroom. And this is the visual that just highlights some of the good reading habits that Readers Workshop might focus on. So these might be your different skills behind your teaching points. So good to use all these different things to help them understand the text. And this is comprehension strategies that I know we're all very familiar with, all the different comprehension strategies. And there are different pacing guides and things like that we that help us organize when to introduce synthesizing or when to introduce inferencing that you will be also getting. The scaffold instruction and model of the Readers Workshop. So there is teacher modeling, then the guide practice, then the independent practice, and then the application of the strategy. So it's a very scattered instruction. So materials, in order to have a well-working workshop in your classroom, you have to make sure that you have a leveled library, which most of us already have in our classroom, either some by genre, some by Fountas and Pinnell reading levels, book boxes, or book bags. Most of us also keep these where children can keep a few leveled books. Also, mentor texts that you're going to be using during Readers Workshop, anchor charts, and then there's also online resources available in the ELA folder on the Google Drive. So similar to you setting up, I'll use Daily 5 for an example since we're all very familiar with implementing Daily 5, or even workshop. A lot of us use the launch workshop for the first few weeks of the school year. You're going to have to do the same for Readers Workshop. You're going to need to teach the protocols and the procedures and have your anchor charts and build stamina and all those things in in order to get those students in a good routine for your workshops effective. So the structure may vary based on the grade level and the time frame of your schedule, but it's about 10 to 15 minutes for the mini lesson, 30 to 45 minutes for your independent reading, responding, conferencing, and small groups that you may pool. And then it concludes with a 10-minute share. Okay, Debbie Miller, here's a quote from her, and it's just about the mini lesson itself. And she says that it provides teachers with opportunities to think aloud and show how strategies are used to make sense of the text. Large block time for reading, responding, and conferring allows children to practice the strategies in small groups, pairs, and independently, and gives teachers time to teach, learn, and find out how children are applying what they've been taught. So it all works together. So like I said, it's the familiar workshop model that we are using during Writer's Workshop. So I have just a short clip that is an overview from the teaching channel.